Hey guys, Steph here, and I just wanted to check in with you guys because it's been a while since I've posted anything here. I've actually recorded probably up to 5 different videos and audios for the podcast for the YouTube channel. A couple of them I did right before the Johnny and Amber verdict. A handful I did just after, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened with me personally. And I think I'm glad that I kind of paused because I started this podcast like going on 7 years ago. And it was all about understanding each other and listening and validating each other's experiences. And I just want to be honest with you and say, yes, I got swept up into the Johnny Amber thing like many people. But a lot of what I'm thankful that I didn't post as many times as other people that I saw. But I also was questioning like, why aren't there other people who have a lot of content around narcissism and healing from narcissism and getting out of those relationships? Why aren't more people talking about that relationship and what was going on? And maybe they felt like it was, at the time I was thinking, oh, maybe it's just too much and they don't want to get into that scene. They want to, maintain their schedule, their content. They want to focus on other things instead of the celebrity thing. And I totally get that. I do feel like it's a really important thing, and I want to acknowledge the people who've been commenting, even before this happened. The amazing people, Laura, shouting you out from Core Point. I do care about you, and my intentions are always pure on this channel. And so when I see some of the comments, I actually was away and I wasn't able to even read some of them for a while, but I'll share with you another time some stuff that's happened to me with my health. But I just feel terrible that this thing that's about two people who I think had an extremely toxic relationship where they both chose to air in front of all of us. As much as I think there are good and bad points to that, I want to be very clear that I think they both had abusive behavior. When I read those, it sounds like I'm some big Johnny Depp fan and I think he's wonderful and totally innocent of everything, which is not the case. And some of the things that I recorded and never shared, which, I may weave them in somehow. What I've seen with the case in general is that I think we all come at it from our personal perspective. So if you were listening to the testimonies, listening to the audio that was shared, and parts of it connected with you because you're like, wow, I went through that. That was me on the receiving end. I think that's who you aligned yourself with. And for me, the things that Johnny Depp went through, the things that he said, all of it, my experience aligned with him. So the things that I heard from her, and again, he's not perfect. Some of those emails are creepy, scary. Would I date him? No. Would I want to be in a relationship with him? Not really. So I just want to explain, I think we all have a different perspective based on what we went through or didn't go through. And I think that it's a mistake for all of us to judge each other based on alignment. Were there things that I said being swept up into this and being I'm actually a part of a YouTube community course where, they're telling me to do things that I normally wouldn't do. And one of them is called newsjacking. So you're like tapping into what's happening, in the world. And I could have just stayed on my normal plan of more, I guess, spirit-led, soul-led content instead of tapping into, oh, this is what everybody's talking about, so I should talk about it. And I fell prey to that because it's something that supposedly connects with people, and clearly it does, or I wouldn't have the comments here that I do. But there's a part of me that feels like I sold out by even contributing to parts of that conversation. And I don't mean this as an apology, like, I'm sorry I did it. I don't mean that at all. I just mean, think some of what people have said is true, is that there was so much activity around it that people were really leveraging the media, leveraging the attention. I only put a couple of videos out, so I don't feel I was guilty of that, but I feel like it's hard sometimes to step away. I'm a pretty much a rebel person, so if somebody's going to tell me to believe something, I'm very much a critical thinker. So the comments that I've read where it's like, oh, I can't believe you're drinking the Kool-Aid and you're going along with this like media thing, that wasn't it at all. I don't even tune into mainstream media. I did watch a lot of this trial directly live streamed on YouTube. I didn't watch the TV commentary. I didn't want commentary while I was ingesting it. I wanted to make those opinions myself because that's just how I'm wired. I grew up in a Christian commune. If you follow my early podcasts, you might know that. And I spent many years being brainwashed by people telling me and my family what to think and believe. And so I'm extremely critical. I'm also an independent voter. I don't let any one party tell me how to vote. So what I was feeling was literally from my gut. It's from my gut. Those were my opinions. And I hope that we all have the ability to form an opinion and have that be respected. And just when I say respected, I mean, it's okay. It's okay for you to have your opinion. It's okay for me to have mine. I don't want to fight about it. I don't think any of us is right or wrong even. I just sort of feel like we all took in information based on our own filters, and I just feel like for me, for this channel, it's taken me off track. I'm not going to defend Johnny Depp. I'm not going to defend Amber Heard. I'm going to defend the fact that abuse is on both sides. I know men who I've known since I was a child, and I watched them get sucked into these relationships with women and get chipped away at, pulled down, and their talents, their skills, their possibilities with their careers were completely tossed aside because of this manipulative person in their life. And the truth is that when I listened and watched, that's what I saw with Amber. Doesn't mean that I didn't think there's stuff that Johnny did that was not okay. There's tons of things they both did that were not okay. I'm just saying that piece of it for me, for all the men in my life who've been with women who do things to chip away at their soul, to pull them down, just the way men can do to women. It was like, wow, it's good to have a man this powerful speak and show that that is even possible. And this whole court case wasn't even about whether he was guilty or not guilty of it was about malice. Did she intend to harm him with this article? And if it was about abuse specifically, I think they're both guilty. I think they both would have been found guilty. And I think the main thing was that the timing, all of the things that came up around that article, just, and her character wavered so much. Her integrity, her ability to believe, her credibility, like that was very difficult to unite with from my perspective. If she could have been more, well, I'm not even going to go into it because I think that's what triggers people is when they say, oh, well, the victim should act this way or that way. I'm not saying that at all. You can be however you want to be. My perception many years after her abuse is that, given all that came out and given that she's an actress, even to hold it together, to say things sincerely, would have landed better with all of the people, not just me, all of the people who wanted to stand behind her. That's all I'm going to say on that count. And all I'm referring to is this particular case and what transpired in the courtroom, not what happened in another country, all that stuff. And I don't want to, do we really want to spend our time on this, or can we move forward? Is there more activism? Is there more we can do ourselves to help ourselves? Or do we give more airtime to something that's not really pulling any of us forward? And for me, I think right now, I feel like no. So the plans that I have for this channel and this podcast was, and it always has been, to move us forward, to grow spiritually, to grow internally, mentally, physically, to thrive and get out of this energy that we spend pointing at the guilty parties. And if you're in a court case right now, if you're battling something right now, I get it. It's freaking hard to focus on anything else. There's bitterness, there's anger, there's disloyalty, there's just feeling totally screwed, feeling like nobody's gonna listen. And I 100% understand, and I want that to change. I just don't know that this case, given how crazy it was, is going to be the way to get any changes in the courts for men or women. I feel like there's stuff that happened that probably will benefit men who haven't been believed in the past, or maybe haven't felt like they could come forward because they'll be emasculated or mocked, or like, suck it up, buddy, just stay with her, or whatever. I feel like that element is helping men, and my channel, yes, is mostly about women, but I'm really all about humankind, and I don't want people to be abusive on either side of that. So I don't know what else to say other than my intentions are pure here, and it makes me sad to see us all fighting when really we all just want things to be better in relationships, better in the court system, more fair for people who come forward who feel that they are abused in some way, for the children who end up being victims of all of this stuff and caught in the middle and used as pawns and used as weapons against the other parent. All of that. I want all of that to be addressed. And I don't have the answers. I'm not a guru. I'm just a single mom who got out of some extremely toxic relationships, more than one. And I'm just trying to live my life as best I can. I'm trying to heal. I see what's happened with my kids, and I'm still very much in it. Let's just say that. I am still very much in it. And yeah. So, this channel will have more interviews, more stories from survivors, people who are still in court, people who can help us feel calm. There's also going to be a big focus on what do we do? How do we emancipate ourselves from this, just liberate ourselves from the story of victim, from from victim to victor and thriving and choosing and making a life of our own, both emotionally being free, spiritually being free, but also financially. So how do we create something that allows us to not be reliant on our ex-husband, the father of our children, the crazy toxic boss who makes us feel anxious and afraid to go to work every day and hiding our head under a pillow, or the parents who maybe you have to live with your parents and you're stuck in their house because of COVID or job loss, and you're like, how do I get out of this? I have toxic parents and I've known this since I was a little kid. Now I'm an adult and I want to earn enough money to get myself out of this crazy situation that is completely damaging to my ego, my connections to other people, my self-esteem, my future. So I really want to focus on the whole picture, and that's really what this channel is about. And I really hope that if you're listening, that maybe there's some piece here that connects with you. If there's stuff that you want, I know that some of you want me to interview Lundy Bancroft. I'd be happy to reach out to him and have him on for sure. We already know his perspective because this is his entire career. But when I do that, I would also like to hear a counterpoint to that too, because I feel it's necessary. So I've found somebody who is very qualified in talking about men and male abuse, and I just think it's important to balance it out. I feel like a lot of people have aligned themselves with Amber Heard merely because she's a woman, and they have not, and they don't understand that a person's credibility, their character, their integrity, how they hold themselves. And I don't mean when you're in the midst of abuse, I just mean in general. And the choices that they make, they do all add up, and people do make decisions because it creates an impression. And to pretend that that's not happening and that we need to support somebody merely because she's a woman and women are the underdogs, women are always the victim, I just don't agree with that. I don't. And it's okay if you want to unsubscribe, if you completely disagree with me. That's your choice. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm doing the best I can from my perspective. I'm open to other people's perspective. I'm not going to hate you. I'm sending love to everybody. I don't want hate in the comments. Not to me or each other. I hate to see fighting. I just use the word hate. I don't like to see fighting. I really don't. I think it's sad. It's okay to have, like, we all get angry, but I just feel like it's wasted energy in some way because it's not even, I don't know, it's just not moving us forward. So, and I don't have a solution. I really don't. I just feel like I don't want to give any more airtime to something that's, it just doesn't appear to be moving us forward in any way. And maybe if that changes, we can talk about it again. Yeah. So that's all for now. Obviously, if you have comments, I know you're gonna make them. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you sharing your perspective. Regardless of my opinion, it does not have to jibe with anything that I believe in. I really appreciate that you've tuned in, that you've listened, that you're sharing your thoughts, and I see the energy there. So I am sending love to all of you. All of you. I want everybody to have a better life. I want everybody to thrive. I want all of these abusive people to be put in their place. I want all of these abusive people to be treated in a way in the court system and in life, in a way and in a manner that calls them out and has them own what they've done. And so that's where I stand, is just however we can have accountability for the people that are so destructive in this world. That's what I want. I want that for all of us. So, all right, well, that's it for now. Gotta go get my kiddos, but I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for understanding. And again, it's your choice. I totally understand if you don't want to tune in anymore. I get it. Hopefully you will find something that aligns with you. I'm going to continue on this channel in the direction that I'm led to go. It's led by heart, intention, and God. And just sending lots and lots of love your way. And if there's something I've done that offends you, I hope that you'll forgive me. I think that's the best way forward, is we forgive one another, and acceptance and tolerance is a huge part of the opposite side of the coin of abuse. So, okay. Lots of love to you guys. See ya.